wanted to jump on here and talk about a book that I recently finished called The Joy of Less. This is a book by Francine Jay, otherwise known as Miss Minimalist, and it's a minimalist guide to declutter, organize, and simplify. That's basically what this book is about. It's not a deep psychological delve into the minds of consumerism and what it means to own possession over things. It's nothing like that. It's a basic, easy read if you want to know how to declutter and where to start. It's very motivational. It's very direct, to the point, goes by room, closet by closet, drawer by drawer, that kind of thing. And I really recommend it. This book was not recommended to me. It was just a book that I happened to come across in a bookstore. And I was already prone to an interest in this idea of minimalism. I watched a documentary on Netflix from the minimalists, and it was so interesting to me because after watching this, I just stood around and looked at my space in my home, and there were so many things. I was surrounded by so much clutter and so much junk, most of it. So many clothes, so many books, so many plates, and my family is just a family of three. It's me and my two daughters. And there was no reason for all of that excess stuff. And I'm still going through the process, but I have begun the process, and it's very exciting. And I just feel like a more freer version of myself and a more happier version of myself. And although my life still is very stressful, I'm a single mother, I'm in school, I'm in college, I work full time, and I feel stress. Everyone feels stress. The amount of my stress might be more or less than the amount of your stress, but learning to manage it, that's the exciting part. Stress can be manageable. Stress is a good thing, stress is a bad thing, but too much stress is not good for you. Not good for your soul, not good for your mind, not good for your heart. And this book is just really a how-to guide on how to start that process. Francine Jay really makes you reevaluate your things, and makes you think like, why did I buy this? Why did I buy this coffee cup? Is it because I like the way it looked? Is it because I felt the need for more coffee cups, even though I'm the only coffee drinker in my house? She really, really makes you aware and become awoke to your possessions and your surroundings. And that's an exciting thing for me because I have gone through periods of depression, and it's all revolved around my space. And like, take for instance, when I first started this book, I was immediately inspired and I wanted to start the process before even finishing the book. So I started with my living room, and I looked around, I picked things up, took things out that I didn't need. Everything that she told me to do in the book, I did. And I sat down and I thought to myself, for about 6 months, I've been wanting to buy a coffee table for my living room. I have a very big living room. I have ample space for a coffee table, and I've always just wanted one. So I could, decorate it, put little flowers on it, whatever. A place for my remotes, a place for my books, what have you. And then after reading through this just a little bit, and also from my own knowledge of minimalism thus far, from like watching documentaries and listening to Brian Nicodemus and Joshua Fields Milburn's podcast, The Minimalist, I just thought to myself, I don't need a coffee table. Why do I need a coffee table? The living room, the space that I have, feels so freeing. Like, I have so much space in my living room it's wonderful, and that's actually where I do my morning yoga. I took up yoga not too long ago, so I get up early, I have my coffee, and I watch my YouTube videos while I'm doing yoga before I get my kids up to get ready for school every day. It's just, my life is coming together full force, and I just feel really, really inspired right now. Instead of waking up to a bunch of stuff surrounding me and not wanting to clean and not wanting to pick up things because they don't really have a spot because I have so much stuff that there's not ample space to put all of my stuff. So I actually, about halfway through the book, I got inspired again to do my kitchen. I actually documented the whole process on Instagram, and that was really cool to do. But I took everything out of my kitchen. Food, cooking ware, dishes, utensils, like every single thing. I even took everything that I hung up on the walls off. And then once everything was out of that room, I scrubbed everything down. I got it smelling so nice and so spotless. And then once that was done, the next process was to slowly infiltrate things back into the room. And before I would put the things away, I would ask myself, when was the last time I used this? Do I see myself using this in the future? And if the answer was yes, I would find a spot, pick a new spot that I wanted it to live in my kitchen, and I would put that back in that spot. And if I didn't, I would keep it in the other room in a box for me to give away. And I got rid of so much stuff, you guys. It was so freeing. And we have enough, dishes and cups and, just forks, spoons, and knives, just enough for my family of 3. And guess what? That's less dishes that I have to clean and dry and put away. And it's just, I feel my life is finally getting to where I've always imagined it would be. And now my next step is getting my children on board with this idea of not having to consume, toys, clothes, and to really go through our things and get rid of what we don't even need, that serves no purpose, that doesn't bring us joy, that we don't have a use for. And, we, especially people that live here in the United States, we have been taught through social media, marketing schemes, advertisements, that we need things. We need to buy things in order to make us feel a certain way, in order to evoke certain emotions, good emotions. So we are just all constantly wrapped up in this idea that we gotta hunt for whatever it is that's gonna make us feel good. And not realizing that stuff is the same thing as stress. Stuff, stress, stuff, stress. And when you get rid of stuff that you don't need, your stress level goes way down. And just take that from personal experience. I'm really excited about this topic, and I just want to share it with the world. I just want to put this out in the world because it's something positive, and I believe that in order for us to be able to create and be the best versions of ourselves and to give out into the world, whatever it may be, I feel like that starts with our space. If we are surrounded by chaos and just stuff that's just binding us to our simplest individualistic selves, that's not going to spark any type of passion or love or anything that's good in the world. That's just going to restrict you from being the best version of yourself that you could possibly be, and it's not doing the world any good in hiding your magic. And I just feel like in order for us to contribute to society in a meaningful way, I think that starts with ourselves, with our minds, with our hearts, with the way that we think, and all of that. Start with what's closest to you. What is your surroundings? How does that make you feel? Does that make you feel inspired? Do you feel stressed? Like right now, my desk is pretty much cleared off. When I first got this desk, I was so excited, and the clutter easily started piling up. Stacks and stacks of paper, and you know what? I just didn't want to mess with it. It was out of the way. All I needed was my keyboard and my screen, and that was it. But I decided to clean the space, and there's hardly anything on here. I mean, I have my alarm clock back here. I have my planner. I have my journal. I have my notepad for my college, and I have this binder thing, and it's all in a condensed little organizer like this. And the idea of minimalism is really just growing an appreciation for the things that you use, finding a purpose in everything. And I just really believe in minimalism, and it looks different for everybody. Just because you find a purpose in an object or it brings you joy doesn't mean that for someone else it wouldn't bring them purpose or joy. It looks different for everyone, and it's more about finding meaning and purpose in objects, which then correlates to your life and finding meaning and purpose for yourself. And I just want to close this with a direct quote from the book that I thought was really beautiful. When we become minimalists, we strip away all the excess to uncover our true selves. We take the time to contemplate who we are, what we find important, and what makes us truly happy. We emerge from our cocoons of consumerism and stretch our wings as poets, philosophers, artists, activists, mothers, fathers, spouses, friends. Most important, we redefine ourselves by what we do, how we think, and who we love, rather than what we buy. This is the joy of less.